Hello, garbage fires. Welcome back to Jace Beleren Must Die. Or I guess a Thopter must be captured. You know, here's the thing. Your stealth roll was terrible. It was really, really bad. But you're just going to have to deal with it. You have other skills, like punching and kicking, jumping, lighting things on fire. So where we stand now, there is a garbage disposal unit. There's a big metal bin, and it is full of fire. There are bits of food and pieces of damp paper, but it's all on fire because you applied oil to it first, so it was able to catch fire. And now there's this thick black smoke pouring up out of it. Torgor, you smell the familiar scent of burning trash coming from the alley below, and you see Road disappear into the darkness. And kind of like
she's right,
sort of
she's
go
right
around
there.
the corner.
She's
Now, now, Road, you do have like skills to mitigate that, right? Like you have monk powers that can help you with this problem, right?
Yeah.
Would you like to activate any of those?
Is this my last chance before things go terribly wrong?
I would say yes. This is. I mean, it's not your last chance, but I would like to know, like, because I was thinking about because what pass without trace gives you like a ambient +10, right, to stealth.
Yeah.
So that would bump that 6 to a 16, which is terrible, and then it becomes passably good. So
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll spend it.
okay.
I like trip over a rock and realize that. Oh no.
Yeah. So until the magic kicks in, Torgor, you see Road like clear as day, and then there is that sort of telltale shadowy like shimmer. And then Road becomes impossible to see at a glance. For you, at least.
Is Torgor within 30 feet of me, height wise?
Like you could stay within 30 feet of Torgor, yeah, and so
that means he's gonna get a +10 as well.
Hell yeah,
yeah,
nice, useful ability. Okay,
so
cool. All right, so the two of you are both passing without trace, and yeah, so that would be interesting. So Torgor, that like ripple of shadows that starts with Road spreads and then also covers you, and you've had this magic used on you before, so there's a familiar feeling of that kind of brief like muffling of sound and the ripple in the light, and now you feel better hidden than you were before.
Heck yeah.
So Winnegar, the signal fires have been lit. It is now your turn. What are you gonna do?
So he starts walking up to the Thopter, much like Winnegar would, just very like, but then he realizes like, oh, I need to be in character. So he, just over exaggerates his arms, like super cool, or what he believes to be super cool and powerful, like a power walk. But it's really just like a power walk, like old lady in a mall. And he goes up to the Thopter and he's like, oh, you there? Yes, I would like to report arson, a crime.
So the Thopter, you get its attention, right? It detects, and we probably see from the Thopter's perspective. They have these big fisheye visions of things, and there's all this information kind of being read around the outside. It's like a blue version of Terminator vision, and so it turns towards you and it sees you, and it's big like a bulb vision, and there's a little like outline that goes around Winnegar, and it registers the waveform of your voice, and it analyzes, and it detects emotional stress. And so it's like, oh, somebody might be in trouble. And so the Thopter, which again, they're like kind of football sized, blue glass domes on the front. I've got a card for one here. They have the Azorius sigil marked on them, and they move around on this little set of wings. They've got I think 6 of them, and they flitter around on those, and then it zips over to you and flies at about eye level. And it says in a kind of bland, like little robot voice, it says, "Please state the nature of your emergency."
The arsonist that you're looking for is over there.
Make a performance check.
Are you sure you want me to do that? Because I mean, I'm pretty sure that was great.
I mean, you should definitely roll to see. Yeah, the
Yes!
dice.
Oh my God.
The dice think it was great too.
Consistent, baby.
Yeah.
22.
So Carl's got a 22. All right. So the Thopter, yeah, I mean it registers that there was a there's a threat. It reads your emotions as authentic, and it says, please direct me to the site of the arson.
And yeah, I guess I power walk to the alley and say, down there.
It says, thank you for the information, citizen. Please stay at a safe distance while I investigate. And it like flutters down the alley away from you.
Yeah, and under my breath I go, oh, I'll stay a safe distance, all right.
Cool. Well, unfortunately, you set off its supervillain detector, and it just immediately turns back around and starts blasting you with stun beams. So yeah, the Thopter, insect-like, it kind of flies like a dragonfly, right? Like little bursts of speed, and then hovering, and then little bursts of speed, and so it flitters down this alleyway on scan mode. And so again, we cut back to its point of view, and we see it scanning with these with waves scanning the alley. This is the part where we find out if it can spot Torgor or Road. So the difficulty,
I rolled a 7, so with a plus 10, 17.
Yeah, 17 for you and a 16 for Road. Okay. Now it doesn't have a big bonus, but it does have advantage on searching because that's what their job is. So let's see how it does. Fingers crossed, everybody. I got a 14, so it does not see either of you. And again, I think that this is very much Road's magic at play, right? Like we see Road and Torgor hidden, kind of limbed in shadows. There's like little misty shadows kind of around your feet and around your shoulders, kind of hiding you from this thing. And then we see the Thopter's view, and it scans the alley, and it highlights the trash fire. We get like a temperature readout. It's scanning for other people who might be in danger, and finds none of them, even though we can see you like crouching in the shadows. So it flits over and begins like threat assessment. And so it's starting to check, like, is it likely to spread? Is it going to hit this building? And it's trying to decide who to call and like what to do. Because obviously the Thopter it's not a firefighting device. So there's a moment here where Torgor, you see it like fly into the right area. It stops right under you and is like assessing the garbage fire.
I throw the net.
Okay, you're gonna hurl the net onto it. Okay, so let me see. I did it like a rough draft because there's no like cannon.
Damn it.
There's no cannon Thopter thing, so I gotta figure out what its AC is. I did a little rough draft version of it. So let's see what armor class. It is small and it's fast, but it's not very armored.
And I'm hidden on it.
Yeah, and that's true. You have you don't need the advantage, but you have it.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I gave it like an AC of 15. I did. AC 15. Nice. There you go.
Heck yeah.
Nailed it.
Okay.
So you throw the net, and it falls, and it lands on the Thopter, and the Thopter is dragged to the ground. There is a tinny clang as it hits the ground. The thing falls over on its side. Its little wings like fluttering. The wings aren't actually physical. They're like going through the net because they're mana. They're just magic wings. But it's just lying there, kind of on its side, making beeping sounds. And then we cut back to its own view, and it shows its little gyroscope is all off, and it's like little warning lights are blinking. Chances are pretty good it's gonna start like making noise or sending like messages or something. What do you do now that the net has fallen on it? You're still up above Torgor, and then Road and Winnegar are watching from either side of the alley.
Yeah, I'm gonna run up to it and see if I can like turn it off or disconnect its power or do something to it.
Yeah. Okay. So you rush over to it, and it says to you, like as you come over, it says, "Please remain at a safe distance, citizen. Everything is fine." And then you run over, and it like warns you again, like for your own sake, like stay back. There is a fire in the alley. It could be dangerous. And then you start fiddling with it, and it's like wait, what are you doing? Like, stop.
Let me help you.
I
I'm
have
trying
a
to.
wife and children. Please don't.
No, my tiny robot children. No, it says like tampering with Azorius equipment is illegal under Legal Code Section 4, subsection 12B. Pursuant to subsection 12B, anyone who tampers with, and so it's like lawyering you. It's going to be like, don't do whatever you're doing because it's illegal. You're going to get arrested.
Side note to this, I don't know why this scares me more than like any encounter that I've had. Because it's like,
You
it
notice
sounds
that
weird.
Rhoda is nowhere near this. She's like,
Well, you're
30 feet away,
basically,
like-
yeah, you're basically climbing up onto a pole and like fucking with a police surveillance camera, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's dangerous business.
Ooh, okay. What do I?
Okay.
what-
So your goal is to find a way to deactivate it. Is that correct? Is that what you want
Yeah.
to do? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That'll be an Arcana check, and I think the difficulty is to do it just like temporarily. DC, let's say 13.
Okay.
So close.
Oh, 12.
Okay, so it gives you when you touch it and you start like fiddling with it. It says, "I am required by subsection 12B of the Azorius Penal Code to warn you. If you continue this behavior, I am authorized to use force."
Guys, he said he's using his penal cord force. What do I do?
Road comes over, and can she like see where like its actual like lens is?
Yeah. The whole front of it is a big blue like dome, and that's what it
Okay.
sees from. These
The
things are
first
basically
thing she's
flying
gonna-
eyeballs.
Right. So the first thing she's gonna do is she has ink in her bag. She's just gonna take it and she's just gonna pour it on the front.
Okay.
to
Yeah.
Try and she doesn't want to be on camera. She like that's like her number one fear. She just wants that not to be a part of the equation.
Yeah.
After
Yeah, that totally makes sense. You run over and you like pour a bunch of ink onto its surface. And if these things were better designed, they would have windshield wipers, but this one doesn't. So yeah, so it says again, and it just keeps warning you like disabling a Thopter's viewport is a penal code violation of subsection 2-4B, and it's like basically just keeps telling you all the things you're doing to try to warn you off, but has not yet begun in using force. So Torgor, yeah, what are you doing? Well, the two of them rush over to the Ornithopter. You're upstairs.
After throwing it, I like try to get down.
You start
as
running.
quickly
All right,
as
so
I
you were
can.
already running down. Yeah, so you
Yeah.
burst out the door into the alley.
I'm gonna try and make an Arcana check on it to see if I can like also try to shut it off.
Okay, so same thing.
Right.
No, I mean the Rakdos solution to this problem would be to step on it over and over and over.
Yeah,
That would definitely stop it.
Road is also looking for a power cable now. So should I just get my negative one?
Go ahead and
Arcana
get
check
your
out of the way?
turn in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Winnegar can try again. Another 8. Good. So you're all just like, I don't. What do we do?
It's like the lines going off. Yeah.
Road has pulled out a vial of acid and is getting ready to pour it into the center of the Thopter if no one figures it's
Just like
out
looking
soon.
for an open vent. So
Yeah.
while this is happening, we cut back to the Thopter's view, and it's all black and drippy because it's got ink all over it, like it's a character in Mario Kart. And we see there is a blinking, like a red, like transmission indicator, and we cut to a room, and in this room we see the back of a chair. It's a big, tall back of a chair, and there are hundreds of like view of screens basically, and they're magic. They're like viewports basically, just floating in front of this person in the chair. And one of them starts to blink red, and we can see there are scenes all over Ravnica of like different things going on, and the Azorius kind of surveillance apparatus. And the chair turns, and we get a profile shot or a side profile 3/4 of Dovin Ban. And he's doing the like Mr. Burns, the like, and he sees this one go red, and he just reaches over with his weird 6-fingered hand and he taps it, and it turns yellow, and he goes back to paying attention to all the other ones. And somewhere, some Azorius arresters just got a notification there's a Thopter in trouble, and go check it out.
And
Yeah, so Road goes, you have 10 seconds to get this under control before we bail.
Can I like
So
try to
Winnegar.
give Winnegar advantage, being like describing what I was doing and like what I looked at, and he's like, okay, that's obvious.
Right, yeah. Just try to like put your heads together. Yeah, you can do that. Sure.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I do that.
So Winnegar, you can make another roll, and you have advantage. And,
It's like that scene.
Do you have inspiration? Can you get triple advantage?
No, advantage and disadvantage don't like pile.
Pop quiz, asshole.
Whoa!
There you go.
Double 20s.
In redemption for those double ones that you got earlier.
Wow. Wow, that
That's
is
crazy.
impressive.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm glad my
Nice.
speed reference helped.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So you turn the thing over, and there's like there's a
I'll
port.
switch.
Yeah, well, there's a port in the back that is hidden by like its chassis, but if you push it, part of the chassis like opens up, and you can see underneath that this thing, and this is the like opening the Pulp Fiction briefcase moment for Winnegar, right? So we see Winnegar's face, and we see the back of it open. This blue glow just like shines right on your face. The technology that makes these thopters possible is completely alien to you. There's no vacuum tubes. There's no cables. There seems to be some kind of crystalline matrix that operates this thing of like blue glowing crystal and like strange metal. You have no idea how this thing works, but you're pretty sure you know how to make it stop working. There are some crystals that look like obvious important components, and if you just yank one of them out, the whole thing will just turn off. But the actual details of this stuff, you have no idea what this stuff is. And I think maybe that's more relevant, or will be in the long run, that this is like totally alien tech.
Gotcha.
So what do? Do you want to try to turn it off?
Yeah, I'm gonna pop one of those crystal things, or pop
Yeah.
a crystal.
Yeah. So it's a little hot. Like you reach and you touch it, and it like scalds you a little, but you're able to pop it out. And when you do, its wings flicker and disappear, and the whole thing just powers down, and it just thunk, like falls over on its side, stops struggling to get out. And that's when we cut back to Dovin in his little architect room, and that screen that he looked at before turns black. It just turns off completely. And he looks at it, and we see him scowl, and he stands up, and he brushes his robes off, and he walks out of the room.
Ooh.
Eek!
Hell yeah.
Eek!
Hell yeah. Good. No, this is
We gotta
great.
go! We gotta go! We gotta go!
Toror like looks around and it's like, great, but now gotta move.
Yeah, now that's why we brought the shopping bag, because now
Right.
it goes in the shopping bag.
Oh yeah, leave the basketball. That's like our trademark. Just like leave, because then they're like, oh, the spalling killers are here.
Toror like
No, because then they could trace it back to
Like,
the
takes
store we
the
bought it from. It's
basketball
like, you've
and, like,
never done this before. We're taking the basketball.
I just don't play basketball, guys. I don't know what I'm getting out of this situation.
Like you're like, no, the basketball is for me. I got this for myself to play basketball. Fuck off. We were at the store already. Okay,
All right,
so
we're going.
so the thing is deactivated. You can pick it up. Winnegar, you are holding this weird energy crystal that is swiftly cooling in the rain. So there's like steam coming off of it. What are you gonna do? It's clear that the thopter
We're heading
will
to
have
Wenzel's
help on the
house,
way.
right?
Yeah.
Going to Wenzel's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I'm
Passive
gonna
Letter Trace is
pocket-
still active.
Yeah, I'm gonna pocket those crystals. We'll throw the thopter in a bag with the net and I guess the basketball.
I'll pull the net and put it back in my bag. Yeah.
Okay.
And then we'll head over to Wenzel's. We're gonna book it for Wenzel's.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
Sure.
Get one of those fresh pretzels.
That's right. Okay. All right. Yeah. So I think that you do this like quickly enough that you can escape off to Wenzel's. I think we probably, it'll take a minute to have for them to show up. So let's stick with you. So the three of you head off into the rain with this ornithopter in a bag and your new basketball, and you make your way over to Wenzel's place.
I orient it so that on the way we stop by a rose drop point.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like on a piece of paper would like to write, we have a thopter ... interested, and then a little heart, and then and leave that in the drop.
And Winnegar's like, hey, what was the deal with that little heart at the end?
Yeah.
We're getting extra credit points.
Okay.
I mean, yo, I don't want to tell you your business, but Rakdos can tell what's behind the heart. All right. just lead with that next time. You know, just shoot your shot, see what happens.
The Rakdos equivalent of the flirty heart is you want fuck.
No?
Yes, I remember when I met my boyfriend. He punched me in the mouth and then introduced himself. I was in love at first sight after I woke up. Okay, so you leave a slightly flirtatious note for the Rose, letting her know like we've got this thopter.
While Tack isn't here, Rhode's trying to get all of her flirting in. No competition.
Perfect. Cool. Yeah, right. The Rakdos bring new meaning to the word "let me smash." So cool. All right, you do that. You get to Wenzel's house, which I think probably is like whoever owned the house, Wenzel's like landlord or whatever, would have come and lock the place up just so people don't like wander in and try to steal stuff. But it doesn't look like it was like pillage. There's probably still gear in there. You can see it like leaned up against the inside of the windows. But yeah, the front door into Wenzel's is locked when you arrive.
Can I make an athletics check to just kind of like push it
Pick
open?
the lock, yeah.
Well,
Yep.
Torgor's version of lock picking.
Yeah, you walk over, you jiggle the handle, and then just slam it with your elbow. Yeah, go ahead and make an athletics check. Just like DC 10. Okay, you got a 23, so like definitely. And I think with the 23, you can do it with some finesse, right? Like,
Oh, it's very much like I grab the handle and just kind of like lift up the entire door off its hinges.
Yeah.
To the inside and
I was gonna say, because like if you had just gotten a 10, it would have been like you just break the door. But this way, you apply force, but in a controlled way, so that it doesn't break the door, and that you can make it look like you were never here in the first place. Okay, so you enter. Coming in out of the rain, you walk into. You've seen this kind of thing a bunch of times before, Winnegar, right? Like abandoned labs, projects left unfinished. It's pretty common, right? Like in the Izzet League, where you experiment a lot and stuff just gets left behind. But for Rode and Torgor, this place looks kind of like a Rube Goldbergian, like hoarders house after they've moved out or they've died. Like there's just a bunch of junk everywhere. And none of it makes any sense to you.
Why does Wenzel need 15 stacks of yesterday's newspapers? I don't understand.
Yeah. So when you come in, you are navigating piles of various Izzet machinery, pieces of unfinished. It's like a steampunk cosplay workshop that nobody cares about anymore. So it's just like weird brass stuff everywhere. But Winnegar, you can see all of these sort of like unfinished stories of Wenzel's work. And can you make an insight check?
Oh, yeah.
Nice. 19. Okay. So Wenzel, like you were more focused on the man when you were here before. And then there was that obnoxious goblin, and you haven't really had a chance to like observe the place. But as you walk through it, looking around, it seems to you that Wenzel's like actually a pretty talented scientist, right? Like he's there's some good work here, but it's clear to you. And this is kind of the Izzet equivalent of like, you know, in a kung fu movie where two people fight and they're like, aha, I see that you use lightning tiger style.
Yeah.
I understand you intimately now. Like seeing the man's work gives you insight into him. And it's myopic. It's good and it's smart, but it's there's only one vision here. And if Wenzel had some help or like somebody to give him a fresh point of view, you could make some good stuff here. He's made some pretty big leaps as far as like apportation goes. But again, there is this weird isolation and what the others are perceiving as just like a weird shut-in, you're seeing as somebody who just needed some assistance, like somebody to bounce ideas off of. You see a lonely scientist in
That
the,
is so
words
sad.
written on the walls. Yeah, it is a little, right? And now he's in
So
jail getting beaten by the Azorius. So that's fun. But that being said, like, you can use this stuff, right? He's got all kinds of diagnostic equipment and you know, stuff you could use to figure out this Thopter. So what are you gonna do?
So I think it's just like a cutscene that's like real, like God, Sam Raimi, like Army of Darkness, like putting on a glove, putting on the apron, the goggles go down, and then like I'm like ready to take this thing apart.
Torah puts
Yeah.
the door back on, like the door, like so no one. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay. All right, and then Road, what do you want to do? Are you like keeping watch?
Take a short rest and get my key points back.
Okay.
Can I-
yeah. I mean, if this is, if you think this is gonna take an hour, then yeah, you can go and like chill out in the back.
Can I help?
Yeah, I think that like the first thing she does, like depending on how long it takes, Rogue would like to during this at some point, so probably up at the start, just like while Winnegar's sort of like fucking with it. She has no idea what's actually happening.
Yeah.
This is so beyond her. She was not good in school. This just looks like a pile of wires. She tries to do like the best she can, like rudimentary sketch in her notebook of it, just like her sort of analysis of the thing. She just tries to get into her notebook before she takes her short.
Okay. Yeah. So you can rest and like make notes and do that.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Torgor, sorry, you wanted to help Winnegar?
Yeah. Oh, my bad. No, I'd love to. Yeah, just like be a lab assistant in this process.
Oh, I love
like,
it. So this
He's
is
like fat. Yeah.
this is sort of the first time that we've gotten to see, rather than like Winnegar bumbling sorcerer, we get to see Winnegar like, is it scientist? So yeah, what does that look like, Winnegar? Like we see you and Torgor like working together. Give me an idea of what we get to see when we watch Winnegar in action with this Thopter.
Yeah, so I think what makes Winnegar like quote unquote like not a good engineer is that like he's not super fast and reckless.
Yeah.
Like he is actually concerned about like other people in the room like might get hurt or he might get hurt, while like other Is It engineers would be like, no, let's get it going, let's go faster.
Yeah.
And at that point he's considered like slow, like not good.
Well, that's the thing is the more you put those brakes on, like the Is It believe very deeply in the like you gotta break some eggs if you want to make an omelet situation, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, you would be looked at as like, why are you letting like petty concerns about these non-guild people's safety slow you down? Like why haven't you already turned this into a super weapon or whatever?
Yeah, it would be like how like I mean he seems like he's not good at his job because he's slower, but the reason he's slower is because he's concerned. Like they're like, well, how come he didn't go straight to human trials? You know what I mean? Like, well,
Yeah, right.
like people would die if we didn't do these first trials. Like or like that, I guess.
Yeah. I dig it.
But I think that's also hindered him in terms of what he's what stuff has been made available to him. He hasn't worked on like big projects or like, you know, been on bigger teams. He's more like, you know, a sub for a lot of things. And yeah, I don't think he has his own. I think as soon as he starts making progress, it gets like snapped up and taken away from him.
Yeah.
By someone
So
else.
this is something that you like you're ahead of the pack now. Like nobody else either has successfully or thought to like grab one of these Thopters. And you know things that maybe very few, if anybody else in your league knows, and you're about to maybe learn more. So when you start going in on this thing, are you taking it apart? Are you like running like tests on it? Talk to me a little bit about what you kind of want to learn and how you go about doing that.
Yeah, I guess that's a really good question actually, because running tests would mean he would have to give it power, and if he gives it power, they risk being checked out. I guess he would be taking it apart he would start taking it apart carefully and organizing it on the table. So I guess the first thing he does is just clear off a table and wheels over like a tool cart and puts it in front of Torgor. Not even like he's so focused on this thing, he hasn't even like checked in that like maybe Torgor doesn't know all these tools or whatever. He's just like, yeah, you're my number one, like, yeah, you're gonna take care of the tools. And I think Winnegar is just like, he has like a pad of paper, he has the tools on his right, and he puts on, one of those magnifying goggle things that has like a couple lenses on it, and he's taking it apart like and piecing it out on the table.
Nice. Okay, cool. So you're gonna dissect it, and then so I guess what I'll do is I'll get you to make an Arcana roll, and then you'll have advantage because Torgor is gonna help you, and then you can like ask me questions about it. Oh boy. Okay, so pursuant to all of that, before that happens, you did roll a 1. You got a critical failure. So I think probably what happens is that you trigger some kind of like self-destruct or something.
Oh no!
Like some kind of thing. And you've got your tools, you're like, okay, I think I just need to, and you get your little tongs and you start to pull something out, and there's like a spark and a crackle of energy. Can you and Torgor both make Constitution saving throws for me, please?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
well,
So you
rolled
got
super well there.
Okay, all right. So you both did okay. So you're only gonna take half damage. You're not stunned or anything. Okay, so you both take 4 damage from this pulse. So you go to pull out something, or a wire touches another wire, or something happens, and you don't understand its internal mechanisms enough. But the power source fries, and it sends this pulse out. A bunch of, and I think Road from the other room, you hear a bunch of like stuff getting knocked off shelves. There's a pulse of force that hits the two of them, and then maybe breaks a window, knocks over a bunch of trash, and you're in the other room trying to like focus on your notes when you hear this happen. The Thopter itself seems to be like self-destructing. There are pops and sparks, smoke's pouring off of it, and if you want to try to save it, Winnegar, you got to act quick.
Yeah. Oh my God. So I have to try to save. What would be save it? Like taking it apart? Like
maybe like so. Like whatever's happening is there is some kind of internal power source that is doing like feedback on itself, and it's melting the circuits and basically frying the thing from within.
Gotcha. Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna do another Arcana and see if I can find that like backup battery that's in it, I guess.
Yeah. Stop the process. So I guess that's the thing, is you could try to stop the self-destruct process by yanking out the power source. Or if there was something else in it that you wanted to like try to snag before the whole rest of it melts down, that's also an option. But again, you don't have a really good working understanding of what's what yet.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go for the power source.
Yeah, okay. Just try to stop.
I really don't know what else is in it. Yeah.
Okay. Torgor, are you gonna help?
Oh yeah.
Nice. Yeah, so I love that Torgor is so great because you have no idea what's going on. You have no idea what you're doing. Something dangerous just happened, and as soon as Winnegar is ready to jump back in, you're just like, I'm right there with you, buddy. Like, so good. That's a true sign of friendship, where you can just show like passion and interest in something that one of your friends cares about, even if you don't care about it at all personally. You're like,
bowling. Yeah.
You're like, that sounds really interesting. I don't know anything about it. I'm not going to do it.
I am like that when I hang out with people that are really into sports and they're like watching a game. Like I don't watch sport. I don't, you know, but sometimes like when you sit down and you watch sports with someone who's like really into it, it can be a lot of fun.
You're describing what it's like to be a streamer. Like I have people around me who are like, I don't really know anything about this, but Adam's so excited about it. I'm gonna be excited too. So Torgor's right there behind you. Winnegar, as you run in and try to like get the power supply.
Torgor does not understand
pulling
any
the
of
curtains over the broken windows. She's just done damage
to make sure nobody has noticed from outside. Okay,
Yeah.
sure.
Should I roll Arcana?
Yeah, make another Arcana check.
Okay.
Oh, there you go. Okay, so you did
14.
so it is obviously it is damaged from that initial failure. There's a bunch of stuff like some of the crystalline structure within it is like cracked. You can see some of the wires have like carbonized. But you're able to find its power source and yank it out intact before it burns out the rest of the thing. So yeah, it's definitely suffered some damage, but you have the power supply and you have access to whatever is still okay. And it's there's smoke and this weird like burnt plastic smell kind of filling the workshop. Road, can you make a perception check for me?
Yep. 17.
Nice. Okay. It doesn't look like anyone noticed.
Okay.
I think probably Wenzel's neighbors are used to like weird noises and like he gets his windows replaced a lot. So you're okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So meanwhile, back inside.
Road like gets out of the way again. Like out of the,
I'm gonna
this
go.
thing can explode. Nowhere near me, please.
Mhm.
She goes back to the other room.
Get out of the blast radius. All right.
Yeah.
So Winnegar, what do you want to do now? You've got time to kind of dig through this thing and run some experiments. The threat of it destroying itself is over, but there is some stuff that got lost or damaged beyond repair. What do you want to know? What do you want to learn? What is the point of having this Thopter in the first place?
Yeah, I guess to learn if it's talking to anyone, like if it's sending its signal to anyone or how it does that, or also what capabilities it has. So like obviously we know it can shock us, but like can it do other stuff besides that? Like what are its actual capabilities other than like flying and announcing stuff?
Yeah. So as you astutely pointed out, it seems like this thing is predominantly a transmitter of visual and auditory information, right? It is capable of, like, what you have in your hand is a blue mana battery, capable of storing mana to power it independently. Also to destroy it if it falls into the wrong hands, which would be you, but you prevented that. There's still a charge left in the battery, and it's not a battery in the way that you've ever seen. Like normally you need to charge them with like steam or lightning or whatever to like juice up a conductor coil. But this is like a very efficient crystalline structure battery that's much smaller than the kind that you're used to. And so that's interesting. And you could write down like mana battery in your inventory if you want to keep that as a separate item. But the thing, these things are not like, it's not a weaponized platform. It seems like it is capable of generating a charge of energy. The armor is pretty solid on the outside, so it's pretty well armored to prevent tampering. And then the lens is like a sort of crystalline, like sapphire structure that's again hard to chip or damage. But yeah, it seems like it's mostly like observe, record, transmit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Totally.
Yeah. Go on.
I was gonna say, Winnegar, can we keep this? Can you make it so this is our Thopter? Like, can you add your technology to it to make it our device?
Oh boy. I mean, it's pretty damaged and it's a technology that isn't really my expertise. I mean, it would be extremely hard. I think at the very best at this point, it would be getting it to turn back on would be hard enough.
Yeah, I mean, if you, again, it's outside your purview, right? Like you're obviously not an expert in whatever weird alien technology this is, but there are other members of the league that you could go and talk to.
Do you have any friends?
Yes, I have friends. Other room. I mean, yeah, we could take it. We could take it to my friend Rourke. He might be able to help, but like, I don't know if that gets us closer to Wenzel. You know?
Well, that's true. I think.
Go on.
No, good.
I think at best we know what it does.
Mhm.
We might be able to, if we can get it to power back on, maybe we can use it to lure
Mhm.
like someone to it, because they got to be looking for this thing now,
Mhm.
because it sent out a signal before we shut it down.
And Winiger, you said this is technology you've never seen before. Like this is
No.
foreign to you. So Torgor thinks Wenzel's also never seen this before.
Oh yeah.
If we break Wenzel out of his jail and bring him back here and show him this as a thank you and sorry for getting you jailed, I think Torgor feels he'd probably be okay to forgive things as long as we give this to him to investigate and report back to us.
Well, yes, but also our main job is to kidnap Wenzel and bring him back.
Oh yeah. So,
So-
he'll be with us anyways.
Yeah. Oh, but you want him to be happy about being kidnapped.
Right.
that's
Look, Torgor just wants a compliant prisoner is a much easier prisoner.
That's true. Give him a toy to play with.
Mm-hmm.
Does Road hear them like posturing and like leaving the investigation phase and going back to actual planning? No, she probably wouldn't be listening in. All right, she's just hanging.
No,
Oh, sure.
Torgor is like, it feels weird without Tag here, just the two of us. We should definitely have Road in on this conversation. Go like bring Road over. Yeah. It's like, all right, what if we bait if we just do the old smash and grab? Let's do this Rakdos style. Just go in, knock some heads, just like in and out real fast.
You know, people look down on that style, but you know what? When it comes to robbing banks, that's the one that works the most.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people try to plan these very intricate bank robberies, and they always go wrong. But I tell you what, a guy going in saying, "Give me your money," and then leaving real quick, that's the way to go.
That's how you
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
We got all this Wenzel's lightning equipment that we could use on the Azorius.
Oh, that's true too. So I have those crystals that I took out of it.
Mhm.
Like, can I do some more like an investigation on that, or if like I can use that to, because I remember Wenzel said he couldn't get his machine to be powered, like it could only do like 4 feet or something like that.
Yeah, because Wenzel was working. He was basically doing the Nikola Tesla thing, where he wanted to be able to transmit electrochemical energy from one place to another, like essentially without wires or cables. But yeah, he couldn't get it to work. Yeah, you could take the rest of the day or whatever and like dig around in here and try to figure out a way to use this mana battery to do that. Sure. Yeah, you could attempt that.
We might have like a giant laser bomb thing. I don't know, guys. I'm like a kid in a candy store, so I'm going to be happy no matter what I do inside this room.
Yes, let's take our time and let's do it right.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Torgor, like, Road.
I think that we should not have this Thopter near us for more than another hour. So I think that we need to arrange to get this dropped off to Rose ASAP. So you need to do whatever studying you want, but they're going to come after whoever has this. And we're not cool or smart or strong enough to be the people who they come after.
Maybe cool enough. I don't know.
Yeah, why didn't you say cool? That was weird.
Yeah.
Do cool people get things that other people don't get? Is that weird?
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah. Let's ditch this thing. Maybe we'll.
So yeah, I mean, Winiger, if you've got the power cell separated, you've got the mana battery. Everything else in here is even in damaged form, like incredibly valuable in terms of research, but as Rhodes says, dangerous to have around. So do you want to try to take anything else, or are you good with the battery as your kind of main piece if it's going to get sent away?
I want to see if I can find the piece that, I guess, the GPS of it.
Right, whatever is it, transmitting. Okay.
Yeah, whatever the transmitter thing would be. So it'd have to be able to like send a signal out, and you know, would that be at the top or in the middle, or
Yeah.
Do we have a way to get the Rose's immediate attention?
Not that you know of, no.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's never been that way. But next time you meet her, it might be worth talking to her about it.
Oh, she will hear about it. Can I have your number for business purposes?
Yeah, in case of emergencies.
Don't even say the back part. Just say, "Can I have your number?" Just
Hey, girl. Yeah. You know, I don't date co-conspirators. It's just a
I just
personal
meant as, like,
policy.
friends.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that leaves you totally open.
I was goofing. It was just a joke.
You cut me off. Actually,
Yeah,
before.
it's rude. Okay. So let's have you make another. You're getting mileage of that Arcana roll. Make an Arcana check.
Yeah.
With advantage.
Yeah, with assistant Torgor, that's good. Okay, so you get 16. Yeah, so it looks like it's got like a distributed antenna system. So there are like thin filaments that run through the little like wing things on the side and the tail bit that are all part of a larger antenna, because the whole thing is meant to transmit. And based on your best guess, you figure like there is a part of, as you're like disassembling its internal kind of brain structure. You take a best guess at what you think would be the thing that is sending information from the camera, from the viewing eye, and from the audio sensor, sending it somewhere, right? This is the main like processor for that stuff, the transmitter, if you will.
Yeah, so I want to disconnect that and put it on a cat.
Okay, I mean, because the battery is out, it's not operative.
Yeah.
But now that you have access to that structure and it's mostly intact, you figure if you plug this thing into the right equipment and you reverse the polarity or whatever, you might be able to get access to the network of Thopters, right? Like this thing is connected to a whole bunch of other little guys, and they all send that information back to Azorius to New Prov, right? So there may be, put on your fucking Ray-Bans, kids, because you might be able to backhack this thing.
Oh, wow.
So that's
So
certainly possible.
Would it be possible for us to like take a half day, try our hardest to get a really solid like mobile lab set up in Host in the Shell for Winnegar to like continue researching until we get a drop-off point?
It will take more than a half day to like lug all of the crap from here to Host in the Shell. It would also take a while to get a permit to let Host in the Shell like move over to this district. But I think if you took a day to do that, to like gather up as much stuff as you could, it would go faster if you had help. The three of you can only carry and move so much stuff.
And Road barely helps move things.
Yeah, Road will supervise. So if you had help, yes, definitely you could do it in a day. But as it stands, it'd be a
None of us have friends.
pretty significant undertaking. You're your only friends. Yeah, that's true. I mean, you belong to guilds and stuff, but unless it's a guild project, it's harder to justify.
Right.
Right.
Right, like if Torgor needed, murder clowns for a prison break, they'd probably be like, "Fuck yeah, let's do it." But if you needed Rakdos guys to help you move, they'd be like, I'm busy.
You know what?
Day.
Like Winnegar's like contact is Rourke, and he works in the Is It Scrap warehouse.
Mm-hmm. He's a guildless
So-
scrapper. Yep.
He might have the equipment to like haul some of this stuff out.
Mhm.
I don't know how long it would take him to get there, or
And while they're talking about friends, I mentioned the thing about like if we do want to do a smash and grab of the jail cell, like we could call some Rakdos buddies of mine that would be on board, and like some other people to create like havoc and distraction and just murder and mayhem to make our jobs easier.
Well, I think that's honestly a very good idea.
Mhm.
I think the priority right now has to be like, we need to get this to someone who's not us to keep it safe.
Mhm.
until we can return back to it. Because yes, getting Wenzel is the current priority, but this is also like too valuable to like leave at the host in the shell while we go
But
run errands.
I think it no longer can be tracked because it doesn't have a power source. So
I think that we're
unless
idiots
Sylvan
for
Ban has his own
that.
magical way, like right, yeah.
Yeah, I think
Oof. Okay.
I think though, let's just put this out there.
Mhm.
If I can reverse engineer this thing, we could have access to the entire security system here.
which is why Rose is gonna want to help us.
Mhm. I think I agree. I like Torgor turns to Whittaker and goes, Torgor knows the thrill of the unknown, more so the exciting knowing that there is unknown, and the possibility of unknowing the unknown. The chance to unknow the unknown will come. It just now we have to know what we need to do next. Yeah, and then eventually,
And don't say no to the things you know.
No. When opportunity comes, definitely don't say no.
This opportunity comes once in a lifetime, yo.
Rose starts day drinking.
Mom, spaghetti.
Well, now that we've all lost ourselves in the moment, Carlos watching your face while Torgor was explaining that was beautiful. It's like
I went through a lot of emotions.
yeah, okay.
It's like, can we? Is there any way that we can? I suggest to the group like send this to Rose with the explicit intent to protect it for us to investigate more later, or like
Yeah, that's the thing is
Yeah.
we should not give it to her until she promises that we'll get it back again.
right.
Which is why this is probably going to have to happen in person, which means that she's going to have to come to our karaoke room whether or not she likes it.
Okay.
Oh, look at this. I like this. Like, we're not just gonna do whatever the Rose tells us to. We're gonna start giving orders. All right.
I'm also hot. Has she ever thought about that?
She's a vampire. I just.
Well, no. Like, let that sink in.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right.
Then-
So then we'll send an additional drop and we'll should we go talk to your friend about helping us get that stuff over?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. All right. So you're gonna head. You're gonna go and okay. So what are you gonna do with the Thopter while you go? Like, is everybody going to see Rourke, or just Winnegar, or Winnegar and Torgor? They're gonna leave Road here.
I think I'll stay with the Thopter in the workshop.
Yeah, we'll stay with the Thopter and then Winnegar can go talk to his buddy.
Okay. That sounds good. Okay. All right. So Winnegar, we follow you. So you go and you probably take because you're going quite a ways. So we probably follow you through the streets to one of the like transit spires, and you take a zeppelin across the city, and yeah, and then we follow you to Rourke's scrapyard, which is attached to, but not a part of like an lab, basically. So Rourke gathers scrap from throughout the city, brings it to the yard, polishes it up, makes it nice, and sells it to the Izzet. And the Izzet also give Rourke like trash, basically, which he does and repurposes in the same way. Is Rourke just someone who works at the scrapyard, or is it his own like personal business? Like how high in the managerial chain is it? Is it like, welcome to Rourke's scrapyard, I'm Rourke, and I can honestly not imagine him looking anything like anyone except for Mickey Rourke from the wrestler. Like I just can't. Like he's just like kind of big and like kind of like pretty rough looking and like stringy blonde hair. Like I just can't. Like as soon as you described him, I was like, that's it. I can't get Mickey Rourke
Okay,
out.
I'm with you on that one. I like that one a lot, actually. Yeah, I think it's his own business, his own private business, and he has these contracts with the Izzet,
Nice.
to haul and send stuff their way.
Yeah, cool. Okay. So we follow you to the outside of this scrapyard. I think it's pretty significant, right? There's like little mountains of scrap kind of in the background, and there's a fence, and there's a sign that says like "Beware of Ogre" hanging on the fence, and then there's like big, is it neon letters over the door, kind of like it's kind of like Borderlandsy looking place, and it says Rorks in these big glowing red letters. You've been here a bunch of times, and you walk in, and one of Rorks employees, a guildless, like a goblin, like waves to you, and they're like, hey Winnegar, as you come in, and yeah, and so this goblin runs over, and they're like, are you here to see the boss?
Yeah, Mustache, I am.
So perfect, good. Mustache, so named because of the tiny little pencil thin mustache that they have. And they're like, yeah. Well, the boss is meeting with some is it big shot, but I'm sure he's gonna be happy to hear you're here. And he points over to the office, to Rourke's office, and he says, yeah, it might be a minute. You want a coffee?
Yeah, I want a coffee. Also, Mustache, where's the good stuff? And like kind of like leans in and is just like, not even in terms of like where's the good stuff, the most expensive stuff, but like where's the weird stuff, Mustache? Like where's the stuff that like people are like, we have no use for this, you know? Like
He so Mustache, they're like, well, you didn't hear it from me, but I heard that some big deal electro-thaumaturge got arrested by the Azorius yesterday, and they're just sitting on a huge pile of great stuff. We haven't seen any of it. There's some kind of like legal thing going on, but I keep my eye out. If you're interested in getting somebody zapped at a distance, I think your payday's coming up.
Winnegar was very excited, and then like his eyes just get really big. Like, oh yeah, that sounds really cool. Whoa.
And Mustache looks at you. He's like, normally you'd be a lot more excited about this. Is there something wrong?
Just sounds pretty dangerous. I was thinking more like, you know, an alarm clock that wakes you up with a hand that just keeps slapping you or something.
and they just laugh, and they're like, oh, Winnegar, you're so weird. Well, if I see anything good come in, I'll let you know. And hey, I don't know if you're doing anything tonight, but me and some of Krenko's boys, we're going out to the bar. I don't know how you feel about goblin cuisine, but we're gonna tear it up.
Oh man, that sounds great. Yeah, I would love. And I turn to Torgor and be like,
there is, you turn to say something to Torgor, but you're here alone. You're like, hey Torgor, oh. Torgor's with Road.
Not there.
Yeah.
No, that'd be great. Yeah, let's do it.
They nod, and they're like, all right, and like they pat their apron, and they pull out a card and hand it to you. All of the writing on it is in Goblin, which I don't know if you read or not.
Actually, I think I do read Goblin.
Yeah, you might be able to.
Yeah, I do. I have it listed as Goblin. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So it has an address in one of the districts for a bar. And
cool.
So Mustache is like, all right, tonight, see you there.
Not too crazy though. I gotta get up in the morning.
And they just grin, this like big, huge goblin smile.
And I imagine when he turns around and walks away, the back of his head has a scar that looks exactly like a mustache.
Right.
Like, he thinks everyone calls him
mustache. Yeah, right. Perfect. So you turn back, and as you start heading towards Rourke's office, the foreman's office, the front door opens, and you see another member of the Izzet League coming out. Can you make a religion check for me? I just want to see if you recognize this guy. 16, you do. Okay. So he's young-ish, maybe in his he's in early 30s, early to mid 30s. Pretty handsome guy. He has black hair that is currently a little out of place from coming in from the rain. This seems like he's had a short meeting. He has a streak of white hair at his temples. and he's wearing just like a standard like is it jumpsuit, but you recognize him right away. This guy, his name is Ral Zarek. I think Zarek is his last name. But he's a viceroy. He's a big deal in the Izzet League. And you had no idea that he knew your friend. Yeah, Ral Zarek. And he's in the middle of like a conversation. He's finishing a conversation with Rourke. And he's like, all right, well, if you see anything else like that, you got to let me know. You do good work, Rourke. And he turns and he sees you, and he smiles, and he's like, oh, look at this. You got another customer. I'll get out of your hair. And he pulls a hood up and he starts walking across the junkyard towards you. Like he's going to go past you to the gate. What do you do? Like you recognize him. He doesn't recognize you. He's a big deal.
He's a big deal.
Yeah. Do you say anything? Do you just nod at him?
Yeah, if he's a big deal, and I'm trying to keep a low cover, I would just like. Also, I think Winnegar's not in the habit of being noticed by people who like want to talk to him. So I guess like he kind of looks the other way and starts like playing with whatever like right there. Like whatever junk is in a little box or something.
Yeah, you're right. This is the equivalent of like, I got a text message. I'm gonna look at this.
Yeah, exactly.
So interesting. So I don't have to look at you or interact. Okay. All right. So yeah, Ral then doesn't like if you make a point of just kind of being a background nobody. Ral obviously has his mind on something, and so you can hear him like mumbling like calculations to himself as he walks by. And then once you're out of eyeshot, you look up and you see Rourke kind of leaning on the door frame, and he looks up at you and he says, Winnegar, come on in, get out of the rain.
Hey, Rourke, you're hitting the big time over here, huh?
All right. And he puts his hands up. He's like, all right.
Hey,
you know, it's not the size of the client. It's how many Xenos they have to spend.
Yeah, you're like, what? I mean, that's a huge client right there. You franchising?
And he looks. He's like, is he? I didn't know. And he kind of gives you a grin, like, yeah.
He does. Okay, cool.
Like, and he says, don't worry. I'm not gonna forget about the little guys. And he kind of like pulls you inside and he closes the door and he goes over to he has there was a gift from one of his former clients. There's a big like Izzet like coffee machine, and he comes over to it and he pulls a switch and like taps a dial and it starts percolating and making steam and noise. And he says, so what dragged you all the way down into my particular gutter today?
You mean besides friendship? And we both burst out laughing.
Yeah, right. He starts laughing. Yeah.
I need a favor.
And
like, yeah.
Nods like, uh-huh. Yeah, I bet you do.
I need help relocating a lab. I'm making a to-go lab.
Sounds like a big project. So what are you missing? You need parts?
I need someone to haul and someone that knows how to keep a secret.
Well, I mean, I could help you on the latter part. And, I'm trying to do less hauling. Bad for the back. I got the crew, but if this is secret, I love my boys, but they're talkers.
Yeah, they're chatty Cathys for sure. And nothing against chatty Kathy. She's real nice.
Right. Somewhere Kathy is just like, and then Winnegar said to me, he said, that's a terrible hat, Catherine. And I said to him, you don't know anything about hats, this boy.
Yeah. So chatty. So I guess I want to roll insight when he turns me down.
It's less that he's turning you down and he's more just like,
I want to be on
he's
the up and up.
wary. Yeah, like because he's like, I want to help you. I don't want to get you in we're like, if you're in trouble, I want you to not be in trouble and I don't want to make it worse. What do you need? But yeah, like he wants to help. He's a friend of yours. He's just kind of, he's not saying no. He's just saying like, maybe you should think about whether I'm the right choice for this. But you can push him a little bit and be like, no, like,
Yeah, let me try persuasion then.
yeah. So what do you want him to agree to? I guess is the
So basically, I
question.
want him to agree. I imagine he has some type of like truck or some wagon or something that he can help us move. And maybe, and I specifically want him because he's hauled, like he's probably, even though he's like looked down upon, he's hauled everything from every
Yeah.
department.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he knows everything. He might not be able to like make it from scratch or whatever, but he would be able to identify. He's probably the most knowledgeable person when it
Right.
comes to everything.
Yeah, and I think that's how I remember having that conversation with you initially about him, is that I think that's his thing, in that he like, he's a tinker and he has this sort of informal and practical education, whereas the rest of the Izzet have theorems and science. He's just like, well, I know, if you put these two things together, this happens. And you're like, do you know why? And he's like, no, but I know it enough. And like, he has practical expertise without having any of the academic background. Yeah. So he might be able to give you some insight or whatever. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, I want to roll persuasion, see if I can get him to come along on this. Like, it sounds like his business is moving up, so maybe he doesn't want to risk that. So I want to kind of tap into like nostalgia and the good old days when he was just starting off and like had a real love for the junk.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, just like, hey man, like maybe just one last big oh man, this sounds like he's gonna die.
Yeah, I mean, you're death flagging him really hard right now.
I know. I feel so bad.
I know you've given up the junk, but maybe one last time.
One last haul.
One last haul with your old buddy Winnegar. He looks at this desk and he has the deed for the new pleasure boat he bought so that he and his wife
No.
could go on a cruise.
His kids are finally off to college.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. He's got a granddaughter on the way. So, okay. Yeah. So you want to convince him to come along and that you, so what's your like leverage here? Is it just nostalgia? Is it just like, we're friends and I need some help?
Yeah, I think nostalgia and also like, the excitement of it, the mystery of it. Like, what could it be? Like, I got something big, man. You're going to want to see it.
Okay.
And like, I can't tell you, you just got to come with me.
Right. Yeah. I think that's because that's part of why he's like a junker too, right? Is that he likes finding stuff that people have thrown out because they don't understand it as well as he does, or he's just like, oh, look, this is a perfectly good whatever, and I can combine it with this stuff, and there's a curiosity there for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I like it. Yeah. And I think, and again, we talked a little bit about this guy, is I think that you and him have had long conversations about, because being guildless in Ravnica it's weird. You make it as a choice, basically. You reject joining a guild. And I think he got caught between becoming a Golgari because he likes repurposing dead things and becoming an Izzet because he likes making new things out of them, and he has no place in either guild, so he kind of got stuck in that place. Yeah, cool. That's good. That's good leverage. Roll persuade, but do it with advantage.
Cool.
Hell yeah, you didn't even need advantage.
Woo-hoo.
Double 18.
21.
So you got 21. Yeah. Okay. All right. So he says he's listening to you, kind of like lure him in, and he's smiling, and he says, well, one of the advantages of having a crew and coming into some money like I have lately is that it does give me a little bit of extra free time, and I haven't got my hands dirty in a while, so maybe I could come and give you an assist on this. So what, do you got equipment at home? You need to move it somewhere, or where are we going?
Yeah. I'll explain on the way there.
He says, all right, let me just go tell the boys I'll be out for the rest of the day, and I'll grab us a hemoth. And so he leaves. And yeah, so he's got, so again, vehicles aren't really a thing in Ravnica, though there is this really, really terrible submarine. Fuck that thing. But there are like pack animals and stuff. There's also like a flying angel Death Star thing, the Parhelion, but we don't need to worry about that right now. That's a whole don't piss off the Boros is all I'm saying. Seriously, look it up. Look up the Parhelion. It's terrifying. But vehicles are usually like riding animals. And if you need to move a lot of equipment around, you get a big like lizard or whatever, and you throw a crate on its back, and then you fill it up and move it around. I mean, it's just like the host in the shell, right? So there is there's like a yard truck, basically. It's asleep right now, but Rourke goes and wakes it up and like tells Mustache and the gang, like, yo, your boss is checking out for the rest of the day. Keep working. I'll be back tomorrow.
By the way, that's a show I want to see. Mustache and the Gang.
Yeah, Mustache and the gang. And it's like it's one of those TLC, like either
Like a Storage Wars.
Yeah, either a
type-
Storage Wars type thing, or whatever that show where the family like makes motorcycles. And they all just get,
Chopper,
yeah.
American Chopper.
American Chopper,
Chopper,
yeah. Ravnica Chopper, or Ravnica Storage Wars. Both of those would be great. Yeah, Mustache and the boys. So you and Rourke and the big behemoth head off on your trip back to the plaza. So meanwhile, Rode and Torgor, you have some time to just like hang out.
I imagine it's like the very unfortunate thing where it's like you've been circling around in a friend group, but you've never had to have.
I was about to say this is
Right.
the first time I think the two of you have been like alone in a place, and you're both like, so how do you know Winnegar? Right, and of course, part of the same globe-spanning conspiracy to destroy Jace Beleren. Right.
Right.
I should.
Of course.
I mean, yeah.
Um,
Yeah. So what's that like? What do we like? Set the scene for me. We fade out on Big Rourke's chop shop, and we cut back to the two of you. Where are you? What are you doing? And how uncomfortable is it?
Rhode's probably like finishing up her notes
Mhm.
on this thopter because she figures this is the only time that she's gonna be able to like poke it a little and
Mhm.
just kind of write things down.
So you're like making sketches and
Yeah.
okay.
Torgor is just playing on his flute and is better at it than his lute. He's finding out, but doesn't love it. Doesn't love it as much. He's not as big of a fan,
And then Rhode is just slowly becoming more and more enthused by the fact that Torgor's playing a flute in a place that we're trying to discreetly be in. So
Definitely
it's just-
somebody. Yeah,
so-
definitely somebody
so-
walks by outside and is like, "Is somebody floating in there?" Keeps walking.
Road, it's like, Road, what did you think of that one? Is that what would you say?
I think it
Out
was
of
as
10,
equally
out of 10,
loud as
out of
the
10.
last- as equally loud as the last one. Yeah.
Okay, once again, Don, I appreciate you're listening for loudness, but I would love to hear your feedback on the journey Torgor took you through with that melodic line through. I really thought that triplet melody line was like pretty cool. Just like getting like heavy into like the theory of the music.
Yeah, no, I think someone from outside would definitely be able to hear it.
Okay. Well, so since you don't want to talk about this, so let's talk about you. Torgor has always been wanting to know why jellyfish.
Oh. Probably. Well, everyone kind of chooses shark when they get the chance, when it comes down to it.
Shark is very
Yeah.
popular.
The sharks. And then people who aren't trying to be a shark pick dolphin. And I thought that was equally kind of pretentious.
Yeah.
I don't know. Squid.
In
didn't feel
Rakdos,
right.
I totally get it. With Rakdos, everyone's like, oh, bring the biggest like lizard creature you got. Give me the scariest, largest spider you got. Give me the thing that's most grotesque. And Torgor gets it, but yeah, sometimes what you don't expect is scarier than what you're expecting.
Okay, wait. So if you had to choose like one animal to
Mhm.
bring to a party, what would you
Hmm.
pick?
Ooh. Torgor has only heard legend of this animal. But if it's any animal, then Torgor would bring a scream beast. You know,
A what?
Yeah.
a scream beast.
I don't know if I've ever heard of
You haven't heard the legend of a scream beast? Okay.
No, please tell me the legend of the scream beast.
Torgor starts telling about what a scream beast is. Like everything about it, its terrifying nature, how it's completely like embodies what is chaos in like the Rakdos scenario.
Right, because it's not just chaotic, but it's like performatively chaotic.
Yeah. And just like, oh, you see, it can grow limbs and it can change at random, and it talks like just like going into it about it.
So, Explosive Monkey just aptly pointed out, are they talking about Twitch chat? It is a beast with hundreds of forms and many arms and opinions. And it just likes to shout them at you as you try to do something else. And you're like, I'm doing it for you, Scream Beast. And the Scream Beast is like, ooh, do it more and different.
To both my liking and his liking. Which are both opposites liking.
The great purple Scream Beast. I love it.
It's either that and then he's like, oh, well, also a dire bat, I guess. Like that's always fun. Give people rides, and it's a bat, so it's not a bird. So
dire bats are 100% things that Rakdos like fly around on for like transportation and terrifying. yeah.
And they're so fuzzy as opposed to
they're
birds.
Really cute, yeah.
Yeah.
You think that some of these things might be able to help us? Have you ever?
I mean, well, yeah, but Torgo, to be honest, doesn't like bringing his other job to this job. You know, like it feels weird.
Makes
like
sense.
no one. I mean, we rely on your skills, but no one's asking you to vivisect something and like combine it on the like. That feels like it'd feel like work instead of fun.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question, Torger. Why do you do this job?
Oh, I love it. No, wait. Like, what job? Rakdos job or conspiracy?
Job.
The conspiracy job? Well, I mean, Guildpact makes things too stable. Things are just in a place where all the guilds are locked together. They're in cohesion, and everyone exists side by side. And you know, I hate if I sound a little bit like a gruel. I don't know, spinning too much in Vigo's head, but I really think there needs to be some like rebuilding, and a little bit through struggle and strife, we all grow and develop, and that doesn't happen without chaos.
And so you think he's real, Jace Beleren?
Oh, most definitely. If a man is willing to have him tattooed up and down his body before stripping naked and engaging in a orgy of the cardinal pleasures, definitely a real guy.
Listen, it's not that we believe that Jace Beleren doesn't exist. It's just that he's not our messiah, you see. He was a great man. He just was not the son of God. Yeah. Yeah, like I think this is the thing about Ravnica and like Jace in general, is that like he is the living Guildpact, and I think that is like common knowledge. But the fact that he is also a like planes hopping like omni sorcerer, and that there are others like them, that's like less well known. And I think for the most part, like because it's a great Rakdos insight. I think that for the most part, people see Jace as being like a beloved figure. They're like, yay, he's a person that we can put all of our hopes and dreams on, and like he keeps Ravnica safe and together. But to your point, if he were ever killed, the Guildpact would be broken, and we would go back to that time of like chaos and conflict, which it does sound a little like that. The Gruul definitely want that. Like they are hype about that. And for the Rakdos, it's opportunity for lawlessness, right? It's for chaos. Yeah.
Torger turns to Road and be like, why do you do this job?
I just have to know, you know.
It's like I was saying with Winnegar and the unknown and the known.
Yeah. That conversation is exactly it. You're right. Because I figure if we find out, that's good. That's the first step, you know.
From that conversation,
I don't know.
I just imagine the conversation Rourke and Winnegar having, like at that exact moment. I guess I'd say shark. No, dolphin.
Yeah. And Rourke's like, I seen this guy the other day. He got 4 arms. He got 2 crab claws and 2 regular arms. And then he gets to the corner of the street and butterfly wings pop out of his back and he flies away. I tell you, the things these Simic do.
That's amazing. That doesn't sound pretentious to me at all. Like that sounds great. Yeah, hands down, dolphin.
Dolphin man. Perfect. Cool. All right. So I think then that Winnegar, you and Rourke return probably like near the end of the day because it takes a long time to get that behemoth over there, and you arrive outside of the junk shop / Wenzel's house, and then the plan is what? Like, tell me about like what the next steps are that are going to happen. So you're going to load up the equipment that you need into this thing and take it back to Host in the Shell.
And I'm gonna try and bundle up the Thopter so that what's his face never sees it. Like,
and that becomes so that becomes the question: what is to be done with the Thopter's remains? Winnegar has the battery. Everything else is still more or less in its semi-melted carapace. So
I'm sure there's like a box.
Well, so are you taking it with you to Host in the Shell, or are you okay?
Yeah, because I want to try to reverse engineer it to see if I can, like hack
in.
it.
Okay, cool, sure. All right, so I think
probably.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I will say, just while they start moving, like the second that things start being lifted, Rhode's like, "Oh, I need to go tell the Rose to meet us."
No, you don't.
Gosh.
No.
I'm gonna go to that drop point.
Why did you do that? I was gone for hours. No.
I forgot. You could have done it on your way and you didn't either.
No,
so.
I was doing something.
So Rode, do you want to just kind of like slip away so they have to do all the hard work themselves?
Yeah, but also someone needs to contact the Rose. So it is truly, it does need to happen.
All right, so this is good. This will be a good ending scene. So Rode, you go outside, and the plan is to go back to one of the like drop points.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you head over to a nearby drop to go and to leave Rose a message, and you find a spot out of the rain where you can write it down on a piece of paper, and you go to the spot. It's like a brick in a wall you can pull out and leave a message there. And when you open the drop point, you pull the brick out to go put your messages. There's a piece of paper in there already, like waiting for you. And if you didn't put it there, it has to be for you.
Okay. I pull it out.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah. So you take it out and you unfold it and look at it.
Yeah.
All right. So we get this shot from kind of like over your shoulder so the camera can see the note. And Rode, when you open the note, all it says on it is behind you. And then we cut to credits.
Oh my god. That's messed up. Oh, I love that. That's nice.
So there you go. So Rode all alone. We'll see what happens next episode of Jace Beleren Must Die.
That's good. That's good ending.
Yeah, let me hand out some XP, and then we'll bid you all a fond farewell.
We're not gonna get any. We quasided.
Well, no, but this is the thing: is quasiding. You'll skip out. You didn't learn anything about Jace, his conspirators, or his servants, but everybody did all the other stuff in a really interesting way. So like, let's see. So I made some notes, but you can, again, same as before, you can let me know if you think of stuff. So nobody learned anything about Jace, his conspirators, or servants, so we'll skip that one, but that's because you're doing a quaside. Did you express a unique aspect of your class, your race, or your background? So Winnegar, Torgor, and Rode all hit that just because of like conversations and like learning stuff about your characters. Like we learned about Rhodes. This is the first time anyone has asked you about being a hybrid. Like people have been like weird to you about it before, but you've never actually had the opportunity to talk about it. So your race came into play, right? Torgor shared some stuff about being a Rakdos and like the difference between a Rakdos and a Gruul, right? Winnegar, you had tons of time to do like sorcerer stuff. So everybody got that one. And I think everybody also hit the connection to their guild in a meaningful way. I think that came up for everyone too. So I think everybody gets two XP, unless anybody's alignment made them make a choice that was maybe not optimal. Not yet. Okay, cool. That one's the hardest one to hit, and on purpose too, because alignment's so unclear.
Yeah,
cool.
I think that's gonna happen next time when we fight with the Rose.
Yeah, maybe, right? Yeah, that'll be dangerous. You're gonna start kind of pushing back on her authority, so we'll see how she responds. Cool. So everybody gets two. And yeah, I saw some folks asking in chat. Winnegar is level 3 now. So I will update that on the overlay for next time.
I'm 1 point away from leveling up.
Winnegar, you are a draconic bloodline, right?
Yes,
Nice.
draconic. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well,
That's
that's our episode. Thanks for coming, everybody. Let's start over here in the corner. Torgor, our lutist flutist. Where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me on Instagram at Marudeboy, MAHRUDEBOI, and on Twitter. And honestly, I got to share this with y'all because I said it was going to happen, and it did. I tweeted. I did my first tweet. It happened. I got, after the show last week, someone, Nafzer Keegan is their Instagram handle, and if you go to my Twitter, you can see I tag them out. They made a Torgor card. And so I shared that, and then someone else also made a Torgor card and shared that last week as well. So both are up if you want to check those out. Honestly, it's mainly going to be for this. You'll find updates and things like that when I do post on there. But guys, groundbreaking results. I'm posting on Twitter now.
That's right. Big changes.
Yeah.
Big changes here
Big
in episode
changes.
10.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Otherwise, follow those things if you want to know about things going on in Chicago and comedy stuff. But yeah.
Nice. Thank you. Over there, it's Katie. I'm really glad you didn't have a heart attack. You look like you were going to die at the end of that episode. Big
I
reveal.
did. This is my specter.
Nice.
Ghost.
Cool. The ghost of Katie.
Yeah. So you can find me at Twitter at OKKatieMay. Right now, I think the thing that you should do is donate to Planned Parenthood or Emily's List or anything else.
God help us. These are strange
reproductive rights or
times.
human rights. Just do that. That's what I'd like to plug.
Nice. Good.
so,
That's a great
so-
plug. Feeling it.
Go be a good human.
Good work. And then last but not least, speaking of good humans, it's Carlos.
Yo, what's up? Fuck all those other places. Check out Carlos.
Set him up and you knock him down. Yo, you go to paypal.me/Carlos Crits. Give me your friggin' money. Yeah. Nice.
Yo, I'm gonna do the best with your money. I got a new video of just falling downstairs coming out next week.
Yes,
That'd be
indeed.
the type of YouTuber I would be.
Smash
Just-
that subscribe button. Just smash
Yeah.
it so hard.
Yeah, hit that bell if you want to get notification.
I mean, no one really do that though. Like, please, because it's important to us.
Yeah, Carlos Crits on all social media, Dungeon Rats, and this weekend I will be at the D&D live event in LA. So that's
Hell yeah! So you're gonna see some Carlos there. Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. I will not be at that event, but I will be watching some of the stuff, especially stuff that has Carlos in it. You can also find TK doing that this weekend, which is why they are not currently with us. But it's my understanding that they'll be back next week, and we will carry on. And maybe Road is not doomed. Maybe Tack will come and save you.
What if it was just fucking Tag?
What if it's just Tack? You're like, oh my god! You turn around, and they're just like, wow, what's up? Yeah, could be. We'll see. You'll have to tune in to find out what's on the other side. That's it for us. I'm gonna go. I got more RPG shiz to do today. If you are interested in any of the other stuff that I do, obviously my Twitter is Skinny Ghost. You can follow me over there, or twitch.tv/Adam Coble, where I do things that are either role-playing games or very closely related there too. This stream and all the stuff that we've been doing today is part of the virtual tabletop Roll20. All the dice we're rolling, all our character sheets, and all of the cool maps and stuff. Those all come from the Guildmasters Guide to Ravnica. So if you're interested in checking that out, it's on the Roll20 Marketplace, and you can go to my YouTube channel and you can watch me spend 4 hours looking at like literally everything in it because I got so excited about it. I was like, we're gonna do this for an hour, and then 3 hours later, I was still looking at it. So go and check it out. I'm having a great time playing around in Ravnica, and we will see you all next time for more. Bye, everybody.
I'll be dead.
Cool. Bye, guys.
Bye.